And welcome to round 6 of CMAX Premier League live softball action, brought to you from beautiful Ghana land here at West Beach. I've already messed up and I'm 10 seconds in. Tonight sees the 6th place Glenelg Rebels take on the 7th place Seacombe Tigers. Both teams coming off of heavy losses last night, looking to bounce back. And to help call tonight's action, we have two of softball's best to bring you the game. Life member legend who's seen it all. Just asking Mr. Lee Hull. Good evening, Lee.
Good evening, Anthony, and good evening to your other commentator, who is?
And the man himself, Mr. Softball SA James Harris, state club icon in the men's game. Welcome, gentlemen. What can we be expecting from a game such as tonight?
Wonderful intro. Thank you very much, Anthony. I'm looking forward to you with the play-by-play tonight. Well, 6th versus 7th. One of these teams will leapfrog over the other or stretch their margin and maybe even start a run into the race for the top 4 position. I think Glenelg early on. Is that what I do when I'm in this position, doing colour?
Look, you're doing better than I would. I was going to say both teams last night.
There's Glenelg.
There's Glenelg having a bit of a pre-game. They didn't have a great night last night. What they did do last night was raise some great money for So Brave, the charity that they supported on their club day, which unfortunately was rained out on the Saturday, but we were able to make it happen last night. So special shout out to Liz McGee for the work that she did on the barbecue, and to the rest of the Glenelg volunteers for their cupcakes. Both sold out. Great money raised, great awareness around sobrave.com.
And Pink Day, you in your pink shirt?
No, it was too cold.
And Jenny Turner did a great job last night with you, Lee.
Absolutely.
It was knockout. Lucky that the rest of us got asked back tonight. So both teams played last night. Stirred out for revenge last week against Seacombe after the rain out from the week before, where they nearly got the job done. Seacombe have got a very young and experienced team tonight. Their pitcher, Munro, still out. Tigers looking to back up. Annalee Dolman also out, unfortunately, tonight. James, what type of messaging are you going to be giving the Tigers tonight?
As the stand-in coach, or as
stand-in coach. Sorry, I didn't realise it had to be that specific. Yes.
Well, depends where that message is coming from, Anthony. I think that Annalee would have absolutely addressed her players last night, and stand-in coach tonight, I don't even have his name. Can you help us out with that?
I don't know. I don't know.
I believe it's Mr. Pash, isn't it? Isn't that one of the parents?
We will
find out for you, for sure.
But the messaging is, well, both teams lost 11-0 last night. Yeah. I would suggest the messaging is that you've got to come back and show some fight, show some spirit, pride in the top as well.
Yep, absolutely.
Get the 1%ers right. Stay down on the ground balls, make sure your throws are on target, and just do it all right.
Lee, you saw the Rebels last night not be able to get out of first gear against a dominant performance by the Cats, led by a new college signing, Michaela Yankovic, who only gave up the one hit in 4 innings of quality work, whilst the Rebels, with their American battery, gave up 10 hits. So Peterson was playing first. How do they regroup in 24 hours to back up in a game?
Well, they regrouped by simply they kept Jade back for this game. I understand that. So I think Rebels are going to be really tough here. And you've already mentioned the 2 people out, Araha Munro and Annalee Dolman, 2 of their best 3 players.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you can't just lose 2 of your best 3 players. So I'm thinking, I fear for thing. I don't know much about Kathy Pash as a pitcher. Does any of you two? Do either of you two?
Yeah, I mean, like Kathy Pash, she's an amazing club person. She does it all. She does everything. You won't meet a more positive person in the world, I can assure you that. But also great effort. I must confess, I haven't seen her play live as well, so we will find out. But it leaves a lot to Becky Havis, doesn't it? She's got a big responsibility. James,
she's got off to a great start so far this season, Becky Havis. So look out for her batting 3 for Seacombe. It's Michael Pash.
I did get it right. There you go. So, well, part of it. Anyway, speaking of games on tonight, James, down on Diamond 2, we've also got Sturt Falcons playing the Port Adelaide Magpies. And for Red Star Cafe Bar 66, how are we going down there early?
Should be a cracker of a game. Sturt's taken the lead in the second inning, leading 1 run to nil. They scored in the second. Only one hit apiece to both sides. Port Adelaide with a name in there that I am not sure of. Jamie
I know they had
Mataria.
I know. Yeah, I know their catcher.
Depleted. There's a depleted side.
They've got a couple of players out. One thing I will say about tonight too is I can give the coach of Seacombe some great advice here because I believe that's his partner in the middle. Is that right? Would I be right? We've got a husband and wife. Yeah. So from a husband and wife combination that's played before, my only suggestion to him is don't drag your wife. It's not. There's nothing good coming of it. So here we are. Kathy just rolling over as we get ready to start. And leading off for the Glenelg Rebels is the same leader from last night, the very reliable and experienced Bree McGee.
And they get back Caitlin Carrollton this evening. She wasn't here.
A couple of changes in there. Yeah, you can see their lineup has gone a little bit more traditional.
Yep.
So
Courtney catching.
We spoke earlier today, didn't we, Anthony, about their lineup. McGee slots back into lead-off position with a 3.16 on base average. So she's in amongst the team leaders in on base. But that middle order could cause a little bit of trouble. I've just broken the first rule of colour commentary. I've talked over the first pitch of the game.
No. All good, all good. You've done it. You're doing a great job. Bree McGee aggressively after that second pitch, and she's fouled that off as she falls behind the count. No balls, 2 strikes. In a minute, Lee, I'll get you to go around the diamond for the Seacombe Tigers, if you'd be so kind.
We'll do that.
Perhaps in between batters.
Yeah, between batters even.
I'll finish my point. Is their middle order could generate majority of their runs tonight, Glenelg.
Absolutely.
That's my early Lee Hull prediction.
Oh,
good try.
Great try there by the third base, Ashley Carr, as she's run over. Tigers are going to have to make sure that they make the most of those opportunities tonight.
Sharper's attack tonight, Leroy.
Well, Sharper's a bowling ball, I would have thought.
There's the CMAX replay. Ashley Carr, full stretch.
That was a terrific effort.
She's moved over from second
base, yeah.
To third, and then Sasha Mutsi's moved over from third to short.
She's in the action again, Ash.
Ball's gone out to shallow left. Yeah, I'm getting there.
To finish that third move, we see Vergara go over to second base. I know you're going to take us around the diamond in between the batters, Lee, but that's a noticeable change to their
Yeah, they are. They have mixed it up and probably had to here. So Bree McGee behind in the count, but aggressively pulling the ball to left. She's done it again as she goes down the left field line deep this time. Starting to see all of it, and that one runs into the fence for a foul ball recovered by Georgia Tompkinson down there at left field, who was the one of the pitchers used last night.
I could tell you something about Kathy Pash. She was nominated by Seacombe Soccer Club last year to be the Community Coach of the Year award, just narrowly defeated by the eventual winner, and Matt Sutton from the Gorlin Districts Association, but she's doing some great work down
she's amazing. Bree McGee goes down the left field line. Tompkinson runs in, cuts it down, turns a double into a single, but more importantly, the Rebels have got a positive start as their leadoff, McGee, gets on, bringing Caitlin Carroll to the plate.
Round the diamond, Kathy Pash pitching to Michaela Pearson. First base, Becky Hovis. Rosa Vergara at second. Ashley Carr at third. Sasha Mitzi at short. Outfield left to right, Georgia Tompkinson, Jazz Blight, and Sigrid Shoemaker.
And foul ball there as Ashley Carr does the right thing, and she saw how that ball was rolling out. So plenty going on just there. So Caitlin Carroll, my apologies, just laid down a sacrifice bunt that's gone over the line.
There was people running everywhere then, Anthony.
Yeah, a bit of desperation, a bit of emotion out there.
CMAX replay, bunt was put down pretty well, but just rolls foul as Carr picks it up in foul territory. Both the first two batters for Glenelg have been right up the front of the box.
Yep. Yes, I mean, there's an argument there as Caitlin Carroll fouls off her second strike down the left bench side. You'd have to be thinking as a coach you'd be doing the full left field shift here, wouldn't you? Right field, as Lee would say, don't think she's going to get too many plays out that deep at right. Tompkinson goes back as Carroll leans deep into the ball out at left field, goes over ahead. McGee turns for home. Carroll pulls up at 2. Tompkinson gets the ball in quickly as the Rebels go up 1-0 with their second batter, Carroll, hitting a stand-up double.
Back-to-back shots to left field with plenty of fouls going to the left side as well. So your shift, here's the CMAX replay, you'll see it right here. That shift idea isn't too bad. Tompkinson was a couple of steps closer to the left field line.
He's going to be very busy. Brings the Rebels' best player, Courtney Shepherd, to the plate. Again, having another standout season. We're just getting a replay here of Carroll's shot out to left field.
Shepherd's hitting 375 on the season, and on the
ball spills at the plate, and the very fast Caitlin Carroll has made her way over to third base.
Rebels mean business, don't they? Right from the start.
Yeah. Tigers needing an out. Shepherd behind in the count.
I throw change up to her. Otherwise, that happens.
Line drive down the left field side, straight through Carr. It's hit the fence. Tompkinson recovers it. 1 run's already scored as Shepherd makes it a stand-up triple with a shot to left field. Line drive.
Well, I was just about to say before I was cut off that that Shepherd leads the Rebels with RBIs as well as her 375 batting average. And there's a CMAX replay as it barrels into the fence. Timeout's been called by the battery to have a chat, and you can see the run crossing the plate.
We've had 3 batters face the pitching, and they've gone 1 base to 7 to left field. Next one, 2 base hit to left field, and the next one, a 3 base hit. Will this one go over the fence?
You can see that Tompkinson has adjusted. She's gone over to the line now, so Seacombe are aware of it. They are making some changes. Brings up the clean-up hitter and last night's starting pitcher, Carissa McBurney, who is tonight's DP.
I think the point Lee was trying to make was that the team's trying to bat for a cycle with the first 4 batters of the game.
Oh, sorry. Strike called, bringing the count to 1-1. Courtney Shepherd, the runner at 3. Tigers still yet to get an out. Good catching.
Yeah, sorry.
No, my apologies. Go for it.
No, it's all right. It was a good catching effort.
McBurney already a couple of hits in her short Premier League career so far.
Oh, knocks it down by Rosa at second base. Nearly makes the play, but it's enough for Courtney Shepherd to run down the third base line and score as the Rebels very aggressively making up for last night's performance so far as they go to a 3-0 early lead.
Ominous signs for the Tigers as Glenelg have put a 3 spot on with no outs in the first. Got to hold on to those. Brings
Katie Priest.
She's been impressive, Katie, I can tell you.
Yep, caught last night. Looked really good behind the plate. She's looked good when she's been in the field. Looks good with the bat. Left field shot by Prest, recovered by Tompkinson. Ball comes into third base, advances McBurney to second, and the Rebels find themselves runners at 1 and 2, none out, bringing Jade Peterson to the plate. And James, you were telling me about her stats before.
Yeah, she's doing pretty well so far this season. She's got a 286 average with a 545 on base percentage.
Takes an early strike there. Jade is just having a bit of a look, assessing the conditions.
Not a known hitter over her career, Jade Peterson, but now swinging the Eastern Ghost and got an expert batting coach in Scott Radigan.
Yeah, just ask him. Where can you get the Eastern Ghost, just out of interest, James?
MC Sportswear, of course. Port Road in Woodville. Magnificent partner of Softball SA, better part of 2 decades.
2022 version of the Ghost in stock at MC currently. Peterson swings over the top of that.
Now a swing for the team.
Yeah, so the Tigers are going to have to make the most of every opportunity that comes to them into the field tonight. They've had a couple early and haven't capitalised. Big opportunity here.
Another hit.
Another hit down the left side. Carr knocks the ball as it goes. Called fair by
Handled in fair territory.
Yeah,
it was.
it was hit hard enough that Carr had to go to the backhand side. Here's the CMAX replay,
Yep.
and then it spilled
Spills
off the
over.
glove. I'm calling that a hit. That was hit pretty well.
Yep.
A hit from Lindy Radigan to my left.
So Gemma Cochran comes to the plate as the Rebels now load up with none out.
That's a better spot. You
Yep.
work that outside edge, it's going to stop this team from pulling everything,
Yeah.
and they're all set up for it. Every single batter for the lineup so far has been at the front of the box.
High pitch as Cochran watchfully goes ahead in the count. 2 balls, no strikes. In the dirt, good catching by Pearson.
Still sporting the pink fingernails from last night's game.
There was a fair amount of glitter out there.
Yeah, she's a glitter supplier, and she was at Dua Lipa on Monday night as well.
Right.
Saw her in the crowd there.
And ball 4 as Cochran earns a walk, bringing McBurney across the plate as Glenelg Rebels go 4-0 up, and the dangerous Megan Wheatley coming in at 8. So
Yeah, 7 batters to the plate, 7 arrive safely on base.
Yes, it's
They need a couple of
says something.
sheep outs.
Yeah, a couple of quick outs.
takes a high pitch for ball 1.
Batting a long way down tonight, Megan.
What I do like here is the Tigers infield have come inside the line. The force is at home. Might be able to stop that flow of runs if they can get one.
In the dirt, well, another good piece of catching by Pearson behind the plate as Wheatley goes ahead in the count. 2 balls, no strikes. Bases loaded, none out. Inside as Wheatley takes her first strike. Good patient discipline batting there, but good pitching by Kathy Pash. High and 3 balls, 1 strike.
Wheatley a 313 on base percentage, but 500 average with runners in scoring position.
Batted clean up for the Rebels last year. And that's why, as she goes deep with a line drive to centre field, well fielded out at centre field, cutting that down to just a single run by Jazz Blight out there at centre field. But a great piece of batting by Megan Wheatley, the veteran, as the Rebels continue to extend their lead. As the CMAX replay takes it out there, really well read at centre field by Blight. And now we're at number 9 in the lineup, Sophie Kinnear.
Who can bat also.
Still none out.
You'd be desperate for an out here, wouldn't you? Just desperate.
Ground out double would be pretty
Yep.
perfect. High pitch levels the count out at 1-1.
3 hits so far in this early stages of the season. Kinnear swings hard. I
Yeah.
like seeing that.
Ex-state player. That ball, she's just been got caught on the pace.
Yeah, ex-state player. That's a good point. I remember her coming home with a 400-plus average in her junior grades at a national championship, and very surprised to see her not in a squad with numbers like that.
Just a change of pace there by Kathy Patch, as you just saw in the CMAX replay, just threw Kinnear's timing out. So,
Well, a couple of more change-ups might.
Oh, I think so.
Mess with the timing.
You've just got to not keep throwing the same pace. Just keep the ball out
balls
there.
foul down the left third base line. Takes the count to 1 ball, 2 strikes.
See, there's a pointer for the pitchers right there. Just take the pace off, and she's going to be committed, Sophie, because she's facing quicker pitches than this one, and she's going to be swinging early. Just take the pace off, like that.
Yep. Great job then, as a Lee Hull would say, a repeat of earlier play.
No,
As
no.
we've-
If you can't get the saying right, don't try it.
It was a variant, Lee. I didn't want to pay copyright on it. As she's fouled off on another change of pace, again in the same spot, and we find ourselves in the same place as before.
Yeah, deep breath here from Kinnear. Let the ball come to her.
Automatic out with obviously the bases running, so bases loaded. So the Tigers earn their first out as we find ourselves 15 minutes into the game as Bree McGee, the original leadoff who started up with a single to left, starts us off again at 1 out with bases loaded.
Well, sometimes they start to flow after you get that first one. So
Yep.
High for ball one.
I think the two most difficult outs to get in an innings defensively is the first one and certainly the third one. A lot of things happen when there's 2 out.
High for ball two. Good pitch as McGee gets underneath it, spoons it, just as Seacombe are unable to make a play just behind second base as the run scores.
it's definitely a judgment call, I would say, by the umpires. But when does it become an infield fly? That landed on the dirt.
Well, it's supposed to be within reasonable catching opportunity, but unfortunately, Tigers just not making the most of their opportunities that have been given at the moment, and the Rebels making them pay for it.
I didn't think it was an infield fly call because it was just about over the top of
That's all
second
right.
base.
Well, the infielders were inside the line,
Yeah.
so and the outfield's pretty deep, so it probably wasn't reasonable catching.
No,
distance.
that's right.
No,
Oh,
it would have
used
been a
to-
long way for shortstop. As the ball goes through shortstop,
Another 2
out
runs
to the
coming
fence.
there.
McGee's quick.
She's real quick. She's already there as the ball comes in from left field as Carroll repeats her first at-bat heroics, this time going an extra base as she makes it a triple and clears the base pass as the Rebels go 9-zip up as we're 17 minutes here on the CMAX replay through shortstop, fielding in shallow, and that brings the dangerous Courtney Shepherd to the plate. Early strike for Pash on Shepherd. So situation 1 out, runner at 3, the speedy Caitlin Carroll. Shepherd down the third base line, well fielded by Ashley Carr as she makes
play.
a good grand 5-3 play to the impressive Becky Havis. And the Tigers get a very much needed second out.
What I liked about that play from Carr is she's back behind the base here. So they know that this is a hitting team. They're getting a hold of the pitcher. Instead of being inside the line, let's give ourselves a little bit of room. Give us a chance to make that play.
And 2 out brings McBurney back to the plate, still with a runner out there as Shepherd's head just on the replay there, the CMAX replay grounding out down the third base line. That ball is deep and high by McBurney. Tompkinson goes back. It's hit the fence on a bounce, but Tompkinson's recovered it well. And again, she's done a great job getting that ball in as quickly as she has, as McBurney hits a double and scores Carroll, taking us to a 10-0 Rebels lead. The Tigers yet to bat. On the CMAX replay, you see Tompkinson running back. One bounce into the fence, nearly over. Great batting by the Iowa native.
Oh, Iowa native. Capital of Iowa, Des Moines.
Was my very next question as Prest follows suit as the ball falls in between shortstop and the centre fielder. But Blight makes a good throw in and just misses the tag at the plate. Pearson, as chaos reigns for the Tigers. So we're just watching the CMAX replay here. So Blight comes charging in and makes a good play. Oh, and there's another replay as it comes charging in as McBurney turns for home, and a play nearly at the plate. Pearson just a touch late on the tag.
Yeah, just a young catch. You've got to let that ball travel.
Yeah.
It's going to be moving quicker than what you can. So take that ball at the plate if you can.
I tell you what, Jade's had a couple of massive swings.
As Peterson leans deep on the ball and drives it down, foul down the left field side. So
oh, deep breath there for the Tigers. They get a chance to just recompose themselves. They've got 2 outs, just one more needed here to come in and try and reduce that margin.
having that bat would be the way to go at the moment. They've got to get off the diamond. They're 20 minutes and they haven't moved yet. So Pash keeps toiling away here, throwing to ex-Tiger Peterson, and Pash throws a strikeout, but not before the Rebels have done the damage with 11 first inning runs on an awesome hitting display as the Tigers go into offense.
Well, 11 runs scored in that first inning from the Glenelg Rebels. They'd scored 15 in their first 7 games, and in this first inning they put on 11, with 3 batters having 2 hits in that inning.
And the Tigers had some opportunities there, just a couple of plays, just weren't able to capitalise. That would have probably limited that damage, but this is what experience and exposure is going to do for you. And unfortunately, the Rebels learnt this the hard way last year, and we've seen them improve remarkably over the last 12 months as Coach Brinkworth has assembled a really good team.
Before you hand it over to Lee to go around the diamonds, maybe tell us who's wearing the blues tonight. I can tell you, thanks to the Red Stars Cafe and Bar 66. Come on down to West Beach and enjoy a bunch of drinks and some food. Diamond 2 around the grounds. It's at the bottom of the 4th. Falcons leading the Magpies 2-1. Sturt's currently in second. Porter just 2 points behind. The winner of this game will be second after tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Belle White in the civvies, so she's not playing for the Falcons tonight. Grauer up working in the Riverlands, so it's a couple of young players getting some opportunities tonight as we see Jade Peterson taking the mound here for the Glenelg Rebels. CMAX, want to help and advance tomorrow's healthcare and get paid for your time? Log on to cmax.com.au. Mr. Hull, if you could run us around the blues.
I will do. Battery, Jade Peterson to Courtney Shepherd. At first, it's Gemma Cochran. Second base, Sophie Kinnear. Third, Katie Prest. Shortstop, it's Megan Wheatley. And the outfield from left to right, Brie McGee, Caitlin Carroll, Tate Nicholson, and Carissa McBurney is the DP, obviously. And during that innings there was 8 safe hits to Glenelg Rebels, and 3 errors were coughed up. So
we'll get back to the blue umpires shortly as Jade Peterson starts us off with a rocket. Strike 1 to the Tigers lead off. Sarah Mutsi playing... Sasha Mucci, sorry, my apologies, Sasha. Playing shortstop tonight and falling behind quickly in the count as she swings over that low pitch.
That's Peterson's MO. Just throw strikes and throw lots of them.
Yeah, in a hurry by the look of it. Mutsi fouls that one off.
Peterson leads the league in strikeouts. She's got 32 of them on the season already. That's in 6 games worth of work.
every season's the same, isn't it? She usually finishes up with the most.
And she's got another one as she retires the Tigers lead off in 4 pitches, bringing to the plate centre fielder Jazz Blight. When you get an opportunity, Lee, we'll get those blue umpires to how many shades of grey behind the plate, etc.
I think I'll do the commentary here, Ant, but thanks for your input.
And strike 1 from Jade Peterson on Blight as she takes a outside edge.
The plate umpire is 1 shade of grey in, and at first base it's KT, Mr. Kevin Tannerbring.
Low ball, 1-1 count. Cochrane jumping in there down the first base line quickly to cover off any short play.
As you would when you've got 11 in the bank.
Which shows some intent from the Rebels from tonight. So, and Blight just getting caught on that particular pitch there. So Peterson goes ahead in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And great change up. And Peterson's got another as she retires. Blight?
Jez Blight looks pretty good in the box, but I think she does a little bit too much coiling there. And
Yeah.
the back comes right back and then it spins all the way around. If she can just reduce that a little bit.
Yeah, I've mentioned that before.
Keep
that,
the head
that
still,
type of stuff.
get the hands through the ball, and she's going to be an absolute jet
Absolutely.
in that left-handed batter's box.
And so bringing to the plate,
Seacombe's best hitter.
Seacombe's best player, Becky Havas.
If you haven't got Annalie Dolman in the team.
Yeah, having a great season, having a great, fully loaded.
Has half the team's RBI. She's hitting 250.
It's a lot of responsibility for a young player. She's got the count to 1-1 as this game is moving along.
And all her hits so far this season have been extra bases.
Takes a big cut at that one, and this is where Peterson's does her thing. Great ball rotation, great mix, and Shepherd behind the plate too. So Havas behind in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 out. Change up the middle by Havas as she just keeps her hands back. Carroll comes in hard to recover the ball. Kinnear takes it at second base, limiting it to a single. But Havas's resistance continues as she leads the way for the Tigers.
Shot up the middle there from Havas, probably a little too close to the hitting zone on an 0-2 count, Leroy.
Yes, I agree 100%, sir.
Kathy Pash batting in the clean-up spot. Takes an early ball.
Yeah, good choice then, Kathy. She was going after it, but realised it was too high.
Chases that one up high in the zone as the count goes 1-1.
Similar pitch, wasn't it? Couldn't stay off that one.
But as Peterson does so brilliantly, she was able to turn it up a little bit on the dial.
And she gets you in.
Oh, sneaky bunt, trying to catch them out, and nearly comes off, just one step away from a great piece of bunting there by Pash. Havas nearly got to second, but unfortunately the player's at 1 and she's retired.
That was a terrific running bunt.
Yep.
Well executed.
We
Took the weight off the ball as well, so Peterson had to come and get it, and
Yep.
she was only a step away.
Yeah, you can see that Cochrane and Kinnear both had to react quickly to it, and because they probably weren't expecting it, but Cochrane got back in time and made a solid out, which is what the Tigers have to do, is that they have to make the most of the opportunities given to them tonight. You can see here Coach Brinkworth already in a game where they're 11-0 up has pulled her charges aside at the top of the second and making sure that they understand that the job's not done, because this was done to them last night by a very impressive Walkerville Cats.
Yes, the Cats were impressive, weren't last night? Some big hitting, big shots. Roberts, Robinson, Dale.
Yeah, they went
DeSardes.
went right down the line, and Yankovic was great on the mound as well. So just as we get an opportunity here, just going to let you know this upcoming Saturday is the Hills Heat Club Day. So we're hoping that the weather goes round us this time, unlike it did last week. And they've got lots of great things on offer, and we'll go through at this innings the type of things that you can get in their tents this week as well. So Hills Heat Club Day this Saturday, so something to look forward to. And as we look forward to seeing Kathy Pash now here, throwing to Gemma Cochrane, who's out and aggressively early, fouling that off down the third baseline. So Cochrane leading off for the Rebels. Takes a low ball to level the count 1-1. So had a chance to have a quick chat today to Hills legend Jo. She was talking about some of the things. They've got to have a barbecue obviously running, which is always a good thing down here at West Beach.
Hills legend. She's a soccer
Whoa,
legend.
Cochrane smashes a line drive up the middle, continuing a good night there as Pash jumps out of the way, nearly took it with her. And here we go on the CMAX replay. It came off the bat at an amazing rate of knots there.
She smoked that.
Yeah, she did. As Blight recovers and fields it well at centre field, bringing Megan Wheatley, who had a good first at bat, clearing the base paths. Carries it on with a shot in the alley out to centre right. Right field's recovered the ball there as Mutsi takes the ball at second. And quickly, the Rebels in only 4 pitches find themselves with runners at 1 and 3 and none out.
Just bang, bang, Lee.
It's got shades of the first innings coming again, isn't it? 15 people presented at the plate in the first innings. Got to shut them down here if you can.
So Kinnear with a strikeout in the first innings, looking for an opportunity here to make up for it. Wheatley, not a massive jump there at first.
Kathy needs to mix it up a bit.
Yeah.
Just not keep the same pace going.
And she's done a great job there as it's grounded out to Mutsi at short, who makes the play and safe as Kinnear beats it out.
Good running by Sophie then.
Real good running.
That infield single, all the starting 9 players have got a hit for Glenelg.
Yeah, right. And yet 24 hours ago, people were down here watching the same game, and it's a new look Rebels tonight. They're up and about. Back to the top of the lineup. Brings the impressive Bree McGee with none out, bases loaded. Tigers under all sorts of pressure again early. As you can see, a little bit of action in the bullpen for the Tigers happening at the moment.
Already got 2 hits tonight.
Ball loose in the ground behind Pearson. Pash comes up to take the throw, but not before Cochrane's got home and scored. 12-0 in the halfway through the second.
See, what Kathy needs to do, and we've spoken about it earlier on, but she needs to just slow the pace down and buy some outs. Make them hit the ball in the air. They're not hitting them in the air. The once they hit in the air, they go long.
Takes a high ball there. Yeah, pacing the game, Lee, is important. Just breaking up the monotony of it and just mixing up the pace that you've got. So
just slow the pitch down. Just lob it up and buy some outs. Buy some what we call cheap outs.
Good disciplined batting there from McGee on a 3-zip count. She still takes the strike, which just shows the experience and the quality of the player. She'd be in a green light situation now, and she earns a well-earned walk.
Loading the bases back up.
At none out, and Carroll, who's already gone with a couple of doubles and a couple of RBIs already. Tigers needing to try and find a way.
I got 4 RBIs so far, a double and a triple.
Good luck trying to find your CMAX player of the night tonight, fellas. Outside for a ball. And inside this time, and Carroll takes a strike, making the count 1-1. Bases loaded and none out.
When you come in the bat, though, on deck, batter Courtney Shepherd should just realise this is the same pace every pitch. It's a matter of time before you catch up with it.
Good pitch there by Pash as she goes ahead in the count. And Carroll hits the ball deep. Right field comes in underneath it, now has to go back. Wheatley scores as centrefield Blight recovers the ball, hits the cutoff Rosa, but not before she's done it again and cleared the base pass with all 3 runs scoring, taking the score to 15-0.
They get 7 RBIs on the night for Carroll, 3 extra base hits, and it's the second inning.
Could have used her last night, I would suggest. And now Courtney Shepherd comes to the plate. 1 for 2 on the night with a ground out to the left side. Carroll's just checking the outs, and there's still none as Tigers continue to try and find a way. Ball outside. Shepherd lets it go. Head in the count here. 2 balls, no strikes. Swings over, off pace. Good pitch. As we find ourselves 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, Pasha's got a couple of tricks. She should go to the bag a bit more often, I think. Keep the ball on the outside edge, mix up the pace. That's a good one.
Like that. Yep.
Yeah, you've got a young catcher, which obviously the dynamics, obviously with Munro out and Coach Dolman not here, and coming off of a bruising loss last night to a very fired up Sturt, who obviously scored 7 in the first. Shepherd picks up a walk, and McBurney comes to the plate at none out. Interesting to see where left field is. They're making the adjustment here as Tompkinson now going all the way back to the fence, which is where she put the last ball on a bounce. Inside and low for ball 1. As she's hit that ball hard, makes a quick tag, Amutsi, and then she gets the out on a great throw over to Havis at first base. So
Make the double?
I don't believe she made the double. No
she
tag.
didn't. She tagged her with the wrong hand.
No, she tagged it with the right hand. The left hand ball was in the glove, but
Looked like,
umpire Tannering didn't believe that she'd made the tag.
well, he was right there.
As
Asked the question, catcher.
Hard to see how she would have missed it, but Press takes an inside pitch early.
Well, good catching.
Yes, young Pearson behind the plate's done some good things there. High as Press steps off of that. 3-0. And ball 4 as Press makes her way up to first. So as I was saying before, gentlemen, Hills Heat this Saturday. Weather holding as Coach Chapman looks like she's coming out to have a bit of a chat. So the Hills have their club day this Saturday. So barbecue's running. They're going to have, listen to this, pulled pork and slaw rolls with gravy. If you don't mind. Pass them down to me, Lee.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? You're crazy. And you'll love this producer brand, and they've even got some vegetarian options. So they're going to have some vegetarian veggie pasties. But the important thing that Joe wanted to sort of get the message out about was this great raffle that the Hills are running this week. So some great prizes. Sounds like some power tools in there and some wine of really big value. So look, definitely something to get around the Hills Heat this weekend. So if you get an opportunity, Kathy Pash getting the applause of the small and Tigers crowd here. And Pearson to Pearson. So sister to sister.
Well, they had to make a change, didn't they? 15 in 2
Yeah.
innings, and it's not like Kathy did anything wrong.
No, it's
just wasn't really at the standard that Seacombe needed tonight. With Glenelg coming out just firing.
Yeah.
The pace is a little slower than what they faced last night in Michaela Yankovic, and Kathy, she just stayed to it. She just kept going, and
and you
so
can
give her credit for that.
absolutely give her credit. And you could see too, she was still positive all the way through there. You know, she's done as best she can. You know, protected young Tompkinson from tonight, I suppose, considering the game that she had to throw last night against the impressive Sturt offence. So, listen, we always knew that coming back in, as the Tigers have, and with the players that they've lost over the last couple of seasons, it was always going to be a difficult ask, and nights like this were going to happen. So, but now it's just an opportunity for a couple of young players to make their way of it. And the ex-Tiger, I think 7-time best and fairest winner at the Tigers and premiership player, Jay Peterson, now for the Rebels. Bases loaded and 1 out.
They're missing Munro, aren't they? I hope she has a speedy recovery. She's still sitting in the top 5 pitchers for strikeouts in the competition as well. So that's something for the Tigers to build off of. And you mentioned Dolman not being there as well. Not only is she an inspiring coach, but you know she's played a couple of terrific games already on her comeback to the sport.
Yeah, absolutely. Then the first at bat back in the sport, we were here watching that ball sail over left field. That was a pleasant surprise. So, yes, nights like this are going to happen. It's a learning opportunity as Pearson gets one across the plate for her first strike. So, bases loaded, 1 out. Peterson at the plate. And she takes that one inside and gets a walk. Brings first base player number 4, Gemma Cochran, to the plate, having a good night as well with the bat.
Yeah, walk and a laser beam single to start off this inning.
And Pearson just high. And inside, Cochran goes ahead in the count, 2 balls, no strikes. Well, last night it was a bit the same case, Lee. Like, the Rebels had no answer for the Cats, and tonight, unfortunately, the Tigers don't have any answers for the Rebels.
No, it's got shades of last evening. They were impressive, weren't they, Walkerville?
Yeah. But we saw, we saw evidence of this with the Rebels 2 weeks ago when they held West Torrens in that game, you know, before it blew out late. Strike call for Pearson. Her first strike on the batter Cochran. That 3 balls, 1 strike. Good discipline batting there, staying off that. And just misses as another run is scored.
5 base on balls this inning so far. Doesn't help the situation, does it?
No, and that brings Megan Wheatley, who's having an impressive night. Takes a strike.
2 hits and an RBI so far for Wheatley.
Yep.
And high for a ball. Brings the count to 1-1. Called strike for Wheatley. As Wheatley drills the ball down left side as it goes over Tompkinson's head and out to the fence. First run scores, second run, Peterson crosses the plate, Cochran crosses the plate as Carr takes the throw in and tags out Wheatley as she tried to turn a triple into something a little bit more, but not before the damage was done.
Yeah, 3 score on the play, and it went deep to the fence, didn't it? So she gave herself every opportunity for an in-the-parker.
It was a great shot. Tompkinson rushing back, gets the ball in, hits Woodsy the cut, the throw comes in, Carr off the base by Wheatley, got caught. So, but not before Wheatley had batted in 3 more runs as the Rebels go 20-0. Sophie Kinnear comes to the plate at 2 out. And for one of the first times tonight, the base paths are empty. So
yes, a long ball will do that for you, won't it? You get people on base, hit the ball over the outfield's head. I thought she had it covered out there, Georgia.
yeah,
But no.
yeah, they're moving her around a little bit. I think just trying to find the right, but it's difficult. Just trying to. The Rebels are hitting line drives. They're hitting deep fly balls. They're hitting hard shots everywhere. So it's a tough ask for the young player tonight, but she's done a great job in protecting that. She's cut some of those shots down. So. As Pearson gets one in for a strike, bringing the count to, how does it go, Lee? 22?
Something like that, I think. 2 by 2.
Oh,
that's a good pitch.
Pearson gets Kinnear for the second time tonight. Kinnear's fallen to a change-up as the Tigers retire the team. But again, not before another 9 runs have been added. So... So, CMAX, want to help advance tomorrow's healthcare and get paid for your time? Log on to cmax.com.au. James, any news from the Diamond 2 game for Red Star Cafe and Bar 66?
Yeah, it's about 15 minutes to go in game time over there on Diamond 2 between the Magpies and the Falcons. It's the bottom of the 5th. Falcons scored 3 in the 4th. And it's 5-1. 5 hits to the Falcons, only 2 to the Magpies.
Who's pitching for the Falcons tonight?
Ruby, probably.
Ruby or Riley Moore?
Riley's in the batting lineup. Can't tell from this, but it's been a good performance from the Falcons because they dropped a big one a couple of weeks back and probably even surprised by Walkerville in that 7-4 loss, but they haven't missed a beat since then. They're sitting second on the ladder, 4 wins, and they gave up a 0-0 draw from one of the rain-out rounds, but
to Seacombe.
Yeah, now they'll go to 5-1 after tonight, 6-1 now in their favour. So. And only 1 game behind ladder leaders West Torrens.
Peterson throws a missile into third base player Ashley Carr for an early strike for the leadoff. Chases high pitch up.
Lee, I can't tell you the last time I saw 20 runs scored.
No, me neither.
Between 2 teams, let alone 1.
It's a while ago.
And 3-pitch strikeout from Peterson on the Tigers lead-off Carr, bringing to the plate young Briellen Dunn, the DP. Oh, sorry, no, my apologies. Michaela Pearson. Gee, Briellen Dunn, the DP, is on deck.
That's why you've got to stay in the count with Jade, because she gets in front on you, she'll just gun you down.
Well, as James pointed out before, when you put it all in context, runs for and runs against, Glenelg had scored up until this 15 in their first couple of games, is that right?
In their first 7 games.
First 7, and they've scored 20 tonight. Which actually, ironically, elevates them above Port right now in runs scored, which you wouldn't have predicted.
Port and Hills.
Pearson strikes out, bringing DP Briellen Dunn to the plate. Change up.
Yeah, in all fairness, though, boys, Glenelg have got a lot of experienced players here, and they're playing against a very inexperienced side. Kathy Pash is normally a C-grade player, so it's a big call coming up, and they have a lot of young, inexperienced players. You look around the Glenelg side in the field, and a lot of them have played state, I can tell you.
And Peterson with another 3-pitch strikeout, retiring the Tigers.
5 strikeouts in her 2 innings of work so far. What this does do is it puts us into run rule territory. The run rules, for those at home that don't know, 15 runs ahead after 3, 10 runs ahead after 4, and 7 runs ahead after 5 completed innings. Means that effectively Rebels are 1 batting inning and 3 defensive outs away from ending this game. For the Tigers, though, as Lee said, like, they might be inexperienced, but they've got to draw on this a little bit. They've got to stay inspired. Yeah, don't see too much hustle out there at the moment, but, you know, if they can just get up, make 3 quick outs and, you know, take something out of this game.
Yeah, you got to try and somehow, somewhere, find a positive in that regard, considering last night's mercy loss as well. But again, you know, like the Rebels, we've seen obviously, you know, the best and worst of them this season. You know, they lost 11-0 in mercy to Sturt at the opening part of the season. They lost 11-zip last night in a big game for their club day. But then they've also, you know, they've pushed West Torrens. They've, you know, demolished Seacombe tonight. So the consistency there, considering the list that they've been able to assemble, isn't right at the moment either. So
momentum was definitely building for them, wasn't it, until that rain out. They, like you said, pushed ladder leaders West Torrens to a 4-2 game. That's one of the surprise games of the season so far, because West Torrens had just come off that massive win against Chantel Latner pitching for the Falcons.
yeah, absolutely. So
What
the
have you
Rebels,
seen here,
Rebels have
Lee?
made a change.
Yeah, it's Brooke Desirante. Desirante, I think it's pronounced. I'm sure somebody in their wisdom will let us know if it's incorrect. Oh, Desirante, okay.
She swings at that one there for a strike. Just also on the news-wise, boys, while we're talking, I know that Adelaide Competition Committee very close to finally securing the draw, so we're hoping to have an announcement about that tomorrow. And whoa,
Oh, nice
return
catch.
Brooke has got a piece of the ball, but not before Pitcher Pearson has taken that line drive and gets an early, first time we've got a lead-off out. Great work by the Tigers pitcher.
Yeah, full stretch as well. So not only in her follow-through, but she's stretched out to her left to take that catch.
So we're hopefully, the draw, which has been finalised today, will be live across all the club websites and the Revolution system as we take another ball outside. So just want to acknowledge the hard work that's been done by Lynette Callahan, Dean Jury, Joe Liddell, and another strike. Julie Dale and Jenny Magel, who have worked tirelessly over the last week to try and sort our draw issues out. So we're hoping to have that so for you by tomorrow. So stay tuned. If you have any feedback about it, obviously send that into the Adelaide Comp.
Pearson going to her off speed on that one, just got away from her a little bit, and Carroll didn't have to take the bat off her shoulder for a walk there. Courtney Shepherd's come out of the game now for Bronnie Sawyer.
Yeah, Bronnie Sawyer came in late last night when the damage had already been done. I think it
Only pitched to the one batter.
Yeah, 11-10, 11-0. So it's amazing what happens in 24 hours. So Tigers with an out, Rebels with a base runner at first, Sawyer at the plate. Sawyer gets after that one, all out in front of it as Carr goes sliding into the fence just in front of the dugout for third base for the Tigers. Great effort, but ball falls short. And here she comes sliding in. That's an unforgiving fence, so she's lucky to get out of that, but a great effort nonetheless. Stays low. Carr knocks the ball down, comes up and makes an out at first base as Becky Havis takes the catch and retires Bron Sawyer as the Tigers get 2 out as McBurney comes to the plate. Still on the replay, good composure by Carr at third base. Ball knocks it down, but then has enough experience there just to not panic.
Yeah, kept their composure, ricocheted off
That's
the
the word I was
glove, and then
looking
onto the body, and it's an important role over at third base. You're going to wear a few.
Yeah.
Main thing is you don't panic.
Pearson gets a strike as the count goes 1-1.
I wouldn't throw it up to this girl. It's probably going to go to the fence on the full at least.
And an inside strike there on McBurney as Pearson goes ahead in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Now, with this count, batters normally swing at the next pitch, no matter where it is. See how we go. Correct.
As McBurney fouls that high pitch off down the left field fence.
Is that after a called strike, Lee, or is that just on a 1 and 2?
No, a cold strike.
Last sister-to-sister combo, pitcher-catcher, Hoods.
Yeah, Amber, Georgia.
Yep. Oh, McBurney digs that one out. Tompkinson comes running in, ball spills, and she throws in as Carroll runs across the plate to make it 21 as McBurney picks up a double out to left field. CMAX replay coming up.
That's Carroll and her impressive night. 3 hits and a walk. Tompkinson gets a good read, but just drops it as...
And another play, hits down there, pressed, hits the ball to left field and gone all the way to the fence. Tompkinson's out there to recover it. McBurney scores. Press pushing for third. Carr takes the ball from the cutoff. Mutsi, sorry, and is safe as Priest rolls in a stand-up triple. Scores 1, and there's that shot. Just bounces inside fair territory. Tompkinson hustles after it. Ball bounces oddly off the fence, and she does a great job to recover and get the ball back in. And that brings Jade Peterson back to the top of the back to the lineup as she takes an early ball. Tigers 2 out. And high for another ball.
We'll give him some time, but we might ask Lee who's coming up this weekend. You mentioned the draw before, so
sure.
You know who he's playing on Saturday?
I've probably got it in my bag. I don't know offhand.
And a walk for Jade Peterson.
But I can have a look, James.
Brings Gemma Cochran to the plate as Sister 1 times out to have a chat to Sister 2 as the Pearson girls get together in the middle. And have a
speed up. This season, the high-scoring game was 10-6 Port versus Glenelg and Sturt 13-3 over Hill. So 16 runs was the highest-scoring game so far this year. So we've surpassed that.
High for a ball on Cochran.
The Pearson pair seem to be working well together, don't they? She's done all right, the pitcher here.
Cochran takes another pitch outside.
Be a lot to talk about, wouldn't it, in the Pearson household?
Yeah.
After this game.
Well, I believe there's a couple more too around the place. So,
is there?
Yeah,
okay.
I think
It's not just a pair of Pearsons.
No, I think there's 4 from memory.
Quadruple Pearsons.
Quad pod of Pearsons.
Sure, there's not 5, so I can go quintuplet.
as Cochrane earns a walk.
3 walks and a single on the night for Cochrane.
Yes, I think Caitlin Carroll's probably at the moment
CMAX
player
clinical
of the
performance player of the game.
She definitely looks like ball spills. As Becky Heavers comes running in at first base, communicating well to the young Pearson pitcher-catcher duo.
I've got to say, credit to Glenelg there. That's good softball etiquette. When you're up by more than 7, you're not taking those extra bases. And, you know, we've seen some teams do it, maybe by accident.
It's a good hit, isn't it?
Wheatley hits the ball out to Blight at centre field. Great line drive. And scores 2 more runs.
They're not done yet, are they? The Rebels. That's 4 hits on the night for Wheatley.
That's a big night. Somebody's going to put some pressure on Caitlin Carroll for
6
player of the night.
RBIs.
That's a very big night, especially when you consider she's batting 8. You were talking about the middle order doing the work, so but Kinnear's had an unusual night tonight. She's had a strikeout, an on-base, a strikeout, and so see what her 4th at-bat brings. High pitch. Yes, I remember the great Barry Jones back in the day talking about the etiquette of when you're in front by a fair bit and putting the cue in the rack, because it always seems to come back around the other way, and
of course
people don't forget the way that you played that particular game. So I think the Rebels have done everything right here. I mean, there's nothing more that they can have done. Them themselves coming off of a mercy loss last night, so I think they've been more than respectful in the way they've gone about it tonight. Game being played in good spirit. It's just the class of the Rebels at the moment is past the Tigers as Carr recovers that ball backhand down the third base line.
Experience, I'd say the experience really. It's as I've said before, there's a few state players playing for the Glenelg team. That helps.
And she waits on that one, and Kinnear makes the most of it as she gets a shot out to right field. She goes on to score. Cochrane, ball loose. Oh.
You've called it beautifully there, Anthony. She waited on it because she's so aggressive with her swinging, I was going to say. Easy for me to say now, in hindsight, but she waited on it and she smoked it up the middle there. Yep. When you are struggling for your timing, just go back to trying to hit a single up the middle and you'd be amazed what happens, and a couple of runs scored.
Just see here on the CMAX replay, Wheatley looked like she was trying to catch the ball herself as the throw came in from Pearson. Schumacher doing a good job out at right field to recover the ball.
There's the beauty about the Schumacher girls. Both of them have wheels.
Never gets old. I'm desperately trying to find the draw for Saturday, and I'm struggling. As a man, I'm struggling to do 2 things at once. Who would have thought that? So Pearson drops the ball in just at the plate as the new player
Durasante's second at bat for the game and inning. You had 3 long batting innings, haven't they? 11, 9, and so far 6 in this inning. But they had 2 of the first 3 batters out.
Yeah, look positive.
It's gone an hour and 4 minutes so far.
Which means the game on the backfield might be done as well. So I'll bring you an update in between inning.
That would be great. So Pearson here has the count full. We have a runner at second and it's 2 out. As she goes down the left side, past Carr at third base. Tompkinson charges in as Kinnear comes across the plate and scores. And Derasante gets to second as the score goes to 27-0. James, have you got news?
I'm startled, and you'll understand why. Port Adelaide put 6 runs on in the top of the 6th to go to a 7-6 lead.
Gee.
with still a runner on third and 2 out here in the top of the 6th. Here's a CMAX replay. Derasante gets a shot down the left field line. She advances to 2, and here's Kinnear to score that run.
Been a few of those down the left field line, hasn't there, tonight?
Caitlin Carroll, her 5th appearance to the plate tonight. She's got 2 doubles, a triple, a walk.
Got my 3 votes.
Wheatley with the 4 hits.
Yeah, oh, gee, that's hard. Yeah, all right.
Batting at 8.
8, yep.
Can we split the award?
Can we? Maybe we can. Both very deserving, as Pearson.
Chillingworth back to the Port Adelaide Falcons game thanks to bar 66. There's the Glenelg players celebrating. Red Star Cafe at bar 66. Taylor Chillingworth up to bat. Has been retired as the 3rd out. So it is a 7-6 lead for Port Adelaide. And the Falcons will have the last chance to score.
Carroll picks a walk. Unable to push her further claims for tonight's player of the night. So Wheatley will maybe get another opportunity.
Well, not a bad night out. 3 hits, all of them extra bases, 2 walks. She scored 4 times. She's got 7 RBIs.
As we have an early leaving there. Maybe a little gamemanship, I would think and hope, as the Tigers now get an opportunity.
If I was Sawyer, I'd be spewing.
I think that might have been the fact that the Rebels ran on a pass ball at 27-0 up and maybe didn't need to make it 28-0 on a pass ball. But anyway.
She left 4 steps early.
KT having none of that. So anyway, the Tigers, one last opportunity here to have an at-bat.
Wow.
Haven't batted through the lineup yet.
8 runs in that inning to go to 28 runs. And as Lee just said, Seacombe haven't gone through their lineup yet. Just the one base runner, that was Havas' single. And Peterson's got 5 strikeouts in her 7 batters. So she faces 8-9-1. Maddie Cameron's up the bat for Falcons on diamond 2, so they're in the right part of the order.
I was about to say, she could turn that.
5.
So the left-handed Schumacher gets her first at-bat of the night, leading off for the Tigers in the bottom of the 3rd.
As I mentioned before, run rule, so 3 outs and we're done here for this game. Could this game finish earlier than the Diamond 2 game? It started at 7:30.
Could do, quite easily.
Great pitch by Jade there. Good ball rotation. Commits Schumacher to the shot, and she falls behind in the count.
Yeah, he just needs to change gears here, Sigrid.
I appreciate that, Lee. I did get it. As she takes a ball on the outside. Good change of pace there by Peterson, as Schumacher levels the count at 2-2. Takes another pitch.
Getting the money's worth, which is good. She had to wait a long time before she had a hit.
As Schumacher fouls that one off down the left field line.
And Cameron flies out the centre field. First out for Stir as they chase 1 to tie it.
Unusual they didn't use Peterson last night, Lee. I didn't see the game.
No, they use McBurney.
As Schumacher fouls another off in a fighting at bat.
And this is obviously the reason, isn't it? Why she's pitching tonight.
And Schumacher gave it plenty, but unfortunately gets beaten on a pitch on the outside. It brings second base player Rosa Vigaria to the plate.
First game they played this year in the comeback season, Rosa shortstop, and she was lead off. Yeah.
Peterson throws a change up first pitch.
And I reckon I saw in the game hit Grace Rickson.
Yeah.
I reckon.
Yeah, she had a shot.
Was.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, came across from West Torrens for some opportunity and trying to make the most of it.
Yeah, and rightly so too.
Yeah.
You know, it's.
And I think the good thing is too, when you've got some younger team players around, having some adult experience there can definitely help them out and fast track them. She chases that ball up high in the zone. Falls behind in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And Peterson picks up another as she retires Vigaria for the second strikeout.
It's all over on Diamond 2.
And what happened?
3 up, 3 down. Taylor Chillingworth closed out the game for Port Adelaide.
Against the heart of the Falcons lineup.
Against the heart of the Falcons lineup. And their 6 runs in the 6th inning has won them the game 7-6, Port Adelaide.
Do we know who pitched for Sturt in that innings? Were the 6 runs eventuated?
Ruby Fidge threw 5 innings for 1 run.
Right.
Which means it was...
Mutzi puts the ball on the deck. Megan Wheatley comes in as makes the play at shortstop. And that's time and game. So tonight brings, at the end of 3 innings, the run rule into effect as the Glenelg Rebels bounce back from last night's mercy loss to the Cats, as they are the eventual winners, 28-0 over the Seacombe Tigers. So, gentlemen, just in closing, is there anything else that...
You're in a hurry, are you?
No, James. I was just going to say, what can you think about the Glenelg Rebels? What can you take from that?
Story of the night: 28 runs, 11 in the first, 9 in the second, and 8 in the third. All over and done with in 70 minutes. An emphatic win for the Rebels. Every one of their 9 starting players got a hit. Unbelievable effort by their entire lineup, and then defensively you just lean on Peterson, who throws 7 strikeouts to 10 batters.
And Lee, obviously with all of your coaching experience that you've had in the past, what would you be saying to the young inexperienced Seacombe Tigers outfit here on the end of a loss like that?
Well, just hang in there. You have nights like this. Even the very best, strongest sides have an off night, and they were just outplayed tonight. It was their inexperience, and don't lose sight of the fact, like we said about Kathy Pash. She did her very best. She's normally a C-grade Seacombe player, so
Now these 2 teams bounce back and play each other again this Saturday at 6 o'clock. The game that will be live stream broadcast thanks to Spacequake Sports at 2 p.m. will be the Hills versus West Torrens. Now West Torrens haven't played in nearly 2 weeks, because they had a bye last Saturday, and so that could be an interesting game there. Sturt back it up and play Port Adelaide as they did tonight.
It's a bit like the old, it's a bit like the baseball.
2-3 game series.
2-3 game series, and that's just how it is going to be at the moment. So,
all right, thanks to CMAX, we've got to pick a maximum effort player of the game and CMAX clinical performance player of the game. Well, play of the game might be Bronnie Pearson's return catch. A team that's down and out, she put in a great effort to take that return catch.
Yeah, absolutely. Can't argue with that for sure.
Can't disagree with that. That's fine.
Guys, so I thought you might have thrown out one of your own.
And how did you settle on the player of the night? Was it Carroll or Wheatley in the end?
Well, Peterson, you might be overlooking 7 strikeouts from 10 batters. She had a hit and 2 walks. She scored 3 times as well. So
so it's a 3-way battle
in contention.
A vote each.
I like Wheatley's 4 for 4 and 6 RBIs, but I don't think you can go past 3 for 3, 2 walks, 5 plate appearances, 5 on base, 7 RBIs, 4 runs scored. Caitlin Carroll.
Yeah, that's a big night.
I agree.
Not going to have too many of those in your career. So, all right. So we're just reminding you that the Hills Heat Club Day this weekend. Keep an eye on that weather radar and keep your fingers crossed that it goes around us, unlike it did last weekend. and come out and support their club day. Bar 66 not open this week, so your opportunities to get food and drink will be behind the hills. So look forward to that. Lee, James, thank you for your help tonight.
Pleasure.
Producer Brandon,
Anthony.
thank you for your help tonight. It's the Rebels taking a 28-0 win over the Tigers. We will see you again Saturday.